Hello everyone, in this video we'll be solving problem 289 Game of Life. The problem statement is we are given a board of m by n grid of cells where each cell represents an initial state, live or dead, that is 1 or 0. Based on the rules given to us, we need to update the board to reflect the next state. This problem statement isn't asking us to return anything, so we need to do an in-place operation to update all of the values. The rule should be applied to the original input, that is the initial state, and not the updated state after we apply them. Let's look at example number 1 and cover a couple of cells whose state have changed, starting with the first element, which is in row 0 column 1. The old value is 1 but the new value is 0. If we look at all of the neighbors for this cell, there is only one cell that is alive. Based on the first rule, any live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies as it is underpopulated. Hence the new value is 0. Similarly, if we look at the cell in the first row 0 column, the value was 0 but the updated value is 1. If we look at all of its neighbors including the diagonal ones, there are 3 cells with 1s in it, that is live state. So based on the fourth rule given to us, any dead cell with exactly 3 live neighbors becomes a live cell, hence the updated value is 1. Just like these two cells, we need to apply the rules on all of the cells in the given board and update its state. One thing to note here is that we are using the rules based on the original value of the board and not the updated values. If the value of any cell changes between 0 to 1 or 1 to 0, we should be using its original value to determine the new state of the subsequent cells. If we apply the rules and update the new values into the board directly, we are losing the original value, which will cause our output to be skewed for all of the subsequent cells. This is what makes this problem challenging. So now let's switch to whiteboard and discuss some solutions to solve it. Let's say if we try to solve this problem using simple brute force approach and ignore the requirements of doing an in-place operation, we can run a simple loop to iterate through all of the elements in the cell, calculate its new value and save it in a new collection. And later update the original values with the new values that we calculated. With this approach, we don't have to worry about the fact if we are using the old values or the new values to calculate the new states of each of the cells. With this solution, our space complexity will be O of m into n, where m and n are the number of rows and columns. Now let's discuss an optimal solution where we can also meet the criteria of doing an in-place operation. As we are dealing with the values 0 and 1, let's identify what are the states that we can encounter. The old value could be 0 where the cell is dead, and the new value can still be 0 based on the rules given to us. The next state is where the old value is 0 but the new value is 1, that is the state changed. The next possibility is where the old value is 1 and the new value is 0, and the last but not the least is that old value is 1 while the new value stays the same, that is 1. Amongst all of these possibilities, the first and the last combination do not experience any changes. The new and the old value stays the same. We don't have to worry about those cases. We need to worry about the cases where the states have changed, that is 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Because if the state changed from 0 to 1, we don't want to use 1 for our calculation, and the same applies for the next case where the state changed from 1 to 0. We should be using 1, which is the original value and not the updated value. One simple way to solve these kind of transitions is to introduce a third value or a third state. For example, if the value changed from 0 to 1, instead of saving 1 in the updated matrix, we can save x instead. Same applies to the next combination where the original value is 1 and the updated is 0, so we can replace these states with y. So when checking for the neighbors and if we see x or y in them, we know how to handle it. If it is x, we should consider it as 1, and if it is y, we should consider it as 0. And once all of the cells have been updated on the board, we can simply do a second pass iteration on all of the cells to replace the value of x with 1 and y with 0. As the board given to us is of type integer, we cannot use variables like x and y. We need to use integers instead. We can replace x with 2 and y with -1. So the possible values we should expect in the entire matrix will be -1 all the way to 2. So this is how we can solve this problem without having to need any extra memory. With this solution, our time complexity is O of m into n because we are doing a total of two iterations across the input matrix. One is to calculate the updated values and save or replace the values with -1 all the way to 2 based on the rules, and the second is to update -1 and 2 with 0 and 1, while the space complexity is O of 1 as we are updating or saving the values into the input matrix directly without using any extra memory. I hope you are able to understand the explanation. Let me show you how we can implement this approach using C Sharp. In this C Sharp implementation, I have created this helper method count live neighbors which accepts few parameters and returns the number of live neighbors. In the main method, I have added a couple of validations to make sure that the board is not null or the length of the rows and columns is greater than 0. If any of the conditions are not met, then I just simply return the execution from here. After that, I have two for loops. The first for loop is to iterate through all of the cells in the given board and call the count live method. Based on the rules given to us, if the current value is alive and the next value should be dead, I am replacing the current value in the cell by -1. If this condition is not met, then I'm applying another condition if the current value of the cell is dead. And if the value needs to be changed, I'm saving it as 2. Once the for loop is complete and we have saved all of the values, now we need to replace the values that we saved as -1 or 2. The next for loop will take care of that, where if the updated value in the board is greater than 0, it will save it as 1 or else 0. Once this for loop is complete, all of the updated values will be saved in this board matrix. This code, when submitted on LeetCode, beats 100% of the submissions in terms of runtime and 54% in terms of memory. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you are able to understand the explanation. The details to access the source code is available in the description below. Feel free to check that out, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.